Hi, how y'all doing? It is December the 12th, right? 2025. Yep, it's Friday. Here in Ontario, Canada, the skies are blue. Started off cloud covered, but yeah, they turned blue. A cloud in the sky. It's supposed to start snowing overnight though, and all day tomorrow. So yeah, there's that, right? Um, it's like -4 today, I think. I slept okay last night. I thought it was going to take me a long time to go to sleep, but it didn't, right? I stayed up a bit later too, because my friend Tass came over and we smoked a joint around 9 o'clock. I thought it'd be like a half an hour, but when I came upstairs, it was 10, right? And I was like, whoa, when we get together, time passes fast, right? So, yeah, I slept okay. I dreamt all night. I don't recall. Not anymore. So, well, I got up and yapped at me and my son talked for a while, and he left, and I had a shower, and my friend wanted to go uptown today to see the new, oh, what the heck do you call it? Gazebo in the middle of town. It's not a gazebo, bandstand is what they used to call it, right? They tore down the old one and built a new one, right? Moved it over a few feet. Kind of nostalgic for the old one, right? But yeah, the new one's pretty basic, but it's okay, I suppose, right? Um, went and got my phone card, right? It was so bright out too, right? It's just because the cement was wet and shiny, the glare from the sun was just doing my eyes in. But it was okay. And then we drove around a little bit around town because she didn't want to go home right away. All right, went and got gas, and then came home and sat here and started watching YouTube. Rod's on for 4 hours today. Rod Hayes, right? So I've been listening to him. I had to take a break though. Let what he said digest, you know. My son's gone. His girlfriend came, and away they went. Right? That's when I was talking to my friend Tass last night too. Oh, I should tell you. The Schuman's at 24 today. All right? Yesterday it was at 20. I felt it raise. But it's a really fast energy today. Kind of hyper. Right? I'm not sure what that's about. But when my friend was over, we were talking, right? About what's happening and what's going to happen. Right? Because we've been both learning a lot about so many different subjects since 2020. Right? And I was telling her about the Hopi prophecy. I was watching a couple of videos of some men break it down, right, and what it means, because you can't take it at face value of what it says, right? It's code. So, yeah, I said, so what I've been gathering, right, is when throughout the prophecy, when the three Atlas comes, the blue Kachina, the red Kachina, which are the colors that the meteor or whatever it is, comet has changed, right? You know what I mean? On its travels to us. Those are signs, right? That the Hopi talk about too. That because there's a web over the earth, which be the interweb, right? Used to catch our consciousness, right? Everybody that's got accessibility to the internet through the phones or computers, whatever, right? We're in it. Um, that something's going to happen that mirrors who we really are back to us, right? And will see us for who we truly are. And I'm not sure how to think about that. So I've been trying to think a couple different variations, right? And I was like, okay, well, let's just take the technological one, right? Everybody's got a phone, pretty much everybody, right? And to have it mirrored back at you, would it be like how I told my children, watch what you say online because it's there forever? And the interdimensional aliens know everything you're doing, right? From the years of being on the internet. Everything's recorded. Every word, every post, every text, everything. Every email, right? So what if that's projected back at you through your phone? It would be on an individual basis, right? But that's one way. Not sure if that would do it, but I'm not sure, right? Or it just is a rise in the consciousness that it's just a download, like, boom, this is who you are. I don't know. What do you think, right? It's different. It is different. I'm not sure what to think about it. But yeah. Don't have a lot to talk about. My day's pretty much over, right? I went out, did what I had to do. My friend who wants to go out and do other stuff, like go to the swimming pool and whatever, right? And I said, yeah, I'd be up to it. I haven't gone for years. Not sure I want to have everybody look at my wrinkly old body in a bathing suit. And she looked at me and she goes, we're kind of in the same situation here. I said, yeah, but you're a little bit overweight. I said, I'm older, right? And she's like, yes, and what? And I was like, yeah, that's my self-confidence, my lack of self-confidence, right? Body shaming and stuff like that. So I'll get over that. You know what I mean? But the pools around here are owned by the Freemason families, and they all mandated that everybody should get a vaccine to participate in their activities, right? When all this shit started. And she goes, you still mad at them? I was like, yep. You know what I mean? She's like, we need to get over it. And I said, well, they're traitors. You know what I mean? Why would I give them my money? And she's like, well, it's only $2, right? I was like, yeah. But she's trying to figure stuff out to do. She wants to get out and do stuff, right? Socialize. She's not like me. She's a Gemini, you know? They're active. They're the best volunteers in the world as a Gemini, you know? They want something done, they'll do it. So, because they're very helpful people. But yeah, I don't know, right? I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't want to get caught up with vaxxed. Little vibrational people. People in fear and doubt. Right? The ones that don't know what's going on. Oh well. If it's meant to be, it'll be, you know? The way the universe works, Big Mama Source, is just like that. It's been proven to me through my whole life. My mother said, if you want a job, Teresa, you have to go put out resumes. You can't sit here and expect the job to come knocking at your door. And all of a sudden the telephone would ring. And it would be somebody saying, are you doing anything? Somebody told me that you're not doing anything. And I have a job. I was wondering if you might like it, right? You know, kind of thing. So, like, that shit happens. Okay? So, same thing about people, friends, right? Men. When I was younger, I never thought about anything about going out and finding boyfriends or anything, right? And all of a sudden, there'd be a knock on my door, and it'd be a boy from school, right? A couple years later, he knew I lived there, and he finally got the nerve up to come knock on the door to check me, come check on me. That happened more than once, right? So that happens. You know what I mean? Source brings you opportunities, shall we say. You don't always have to be out there grinding for it. People think of it in different ways, don't they? I have faith. I know it happens. This happened to me my whole life, right? What's meant for me comes to my door, you know? It does. How's the Ascension symptoms? A lot of pressure in my head still, right? It's a bit tender. Not as bad as it was, as intense as it was before. Yesterday, the last couple days, right? Um, Pressure here too. My foot's bothering me a bit today. My butt bone on my left side, right? Other than that, I just feel like the energy is really hyper, right? I'm not sure else how to describe it, but something's going on. The Congress and all that in the United States voted, didn't, or the vote came in or whatever. Not something happened right? That the government shut down. They're not reopening it, right? They had 30 days and no agreements were made. So the money was given out to them. You know what I mean? So they're shut down. So shit should start happening. You know what I mean? We should be hearing more. Mr. T, or what does Rod Hayes call him? Donald A. Quackavis or something like that, right? Donald the Duck. That's funny because when I was a girl, there was a boy the next town over. That's what we called him. Duck. His name was Donald. We used to call him Duck. Right? I wonder whatever happened to him. That was a long time ago when I was a teenager. Alright? But who knows? Quite a few people out today actually. Driving around. I was really busy on the roads when I was out. I was like, I said to my friend, I was like, we were driving, I was like, seems really busy, right? I said, or they could just be holograms. I said, want to hit one and find out? And she just started laughing, right? But yeah, we make each other laugh. You gotta, right? It's intense fucking times, you know what I mean? Jokes are good. So yeah. Telling my son too to stop being politically correct. He said something earlier in the day about how hate speech is allowed now and stuff like that, right? Because I guess the government had put a stop to it for censorship, right? But I guess the bill got overturned. So now you can do hate speech, right? Which I've never done anyway, right? And he says, you think the government would have some empathy towards that and try to steer a society in the right direction? And I looked at him, I said, Michael Jackson has been trying to tell you for years, they don't really care about us. Right? He goes, yeah, I know. But and I was like, they don't really care about us. Right? I said, they're just a bunch of rich old fucks that don't care. It's just all about their pride and their baby eating and their money. You know what I mean? About their power, the prestige. They won't do nothing to help nobody. Right? And he was like, yeah, well, you're not wrong on that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Same as something weird happened to the other day. Yesterday, I looked up a picture I was telling you about a few days ago about the boxer there. What the frig's his name again? Foreman, George Foreman. So look at his wife, right? One of the first ones. And you could tell it's a man. I could tell it's a man. First time I looked at it, I was like, that's a man, a poor little guy. You know what I mean? Dressed up in an ugly wig, right? Well, I pulled up the picture on this phone and showed it to my son, and he was like, no, it looks like a woman to me. And I was like, what? Right? And I looked at the picture again. I said, you can't see that? And he was like, no, it just looks like a melanated woman to me, Mom. And I was like, whoa. I said, I'm glad you have a girlfriend. Right? You know, kind of thing. Because he'd be tricked. But he got the job. They don't have eyes to see. Right? It's unfortunate. Same as I ordered a turkey the other day to feed my family on the 25th, not to celebrate Christmas, but a family gathering, right? No gifts or anything. I don't need that, right? And my sister said she's not coming this year. So there's 4 people off my list. I got a phone and order a smaller turkey. So they're all dropping by the wayside. The astrology says who hasn't been in contact with you or doesn't want to be around you, right? You can't take them with you. They're meant to go. So I think it might just be me and my oldest son for dinner. So I invited my friend Tass over, right? Because she doesn't celebrate it either, right? And I was like, you want to have dinner with me on the 25th? And she was like, well, I don't think I'm doing anything. So we'll see. The offer's there, right? Because my youngest son will go to his girlfriend's, right? And my other son will probably go to my sister's. And my other son is probably going to go to one of the girls he dates or the girl he's dating or seeing parents' house. Maybe. Right? Or he'll just spend it drunk by himself. And my daughters, they never come, right? They haven't for years and years. So, yeah. Oh, this is different, isn't it? You know what I mean? This will be the last probably dinner I have on this day, on that day this year. If I have it, because who knows what we're going to be doing after December the 19th. What shit's going to look like, right? I'm open for anything, you know what I mean? But I also want to be prepared just in case, you know, it takes longer, right? But yeah, we've just been in a hurry up and wait game. So that's okay. You know what I mean? It just makes new room, more space for new people to come into my life, right? My friend Toss was saying, too, we got to think about your mobility, how we can get you out without, you know, you being in pain or it getting too sore for you to walk, so we can do things together instead of, you know, just sitting. And I was like, yeah, I'm not ready for that yet, right? Like, to be in a wheelchair or anything like that. I can still walk, right? Just not for very far. So, I don't know what to do about that. I really don't. Unless the healing dew is going to come with 3-Eye Atlas on the 19th. Around there. Right? And a miracle happens for us. Right? Who knows? Anything can happen. Nothing is impossible. You've only been taught that, right? All right. I think that's all for today. Took out a steak for my dinner. I'm gonna continue watching Rod. The rest of his video, right? And just have an easy night, I think. I told my friend if she wanted to pop over and visit, smoke a joint with me later, she's welcome, right? Because I know she's revving to go, wanting to do stuff, right? It's her personality. So yeah, at least I got her out for an hour today. And myself, just driving around. All right, Schuman's at 24. We're in the last quarter. Moon phase. So action, right? Love yourself. Stay hydrated, right? I love you all's consciousness. Every day, I'm more patient than the day before. Every day, miracles happen more. Every day, I have more gratitude. I love you all's consciousness. Enjoy this night or day. Okay? Okay. Bye.